What's going on, Yoichi? How you doing, man? You're welcome. I'll get some orange juice. How have you been, man? It's been a while. Thanks. Yeah. I think you already got that one. It's a little different, but same principle. That one's mine. That one's actually a lot more in depth. All right, everybody. Right now we are passing out video release forms. Some of you got one earlier and already signed it. If you could sign it, we are recording the audio of this, and we'll be taking pictures for social media purposes. You know, most of this is just so that I can present, and if you guys say anything, we can use it for added content and added value. Cool. Huh? It's going to be the invert. So the invert, you'll see 1, 2, and 3 on the side. The invert blueprint, so the 6. So where it says invert on the side, and then the act blueprint, and then the assessment is during the assessment. Then the link with clients. So invert blueprint, act blueprint, link with clients, and then the order form. $1 million with Obama's face on it. In cash, sitting in the bank. You can actually feel the excitement of having $1 million sitting in the bank. And let's just say for a moment that I told you that that's how much I have in my bank, and I'm looking to buy what you have to offer. The only challenge is I don't know that you can actually offer it to me because you haven't shown me or marketed to me or put the systems in place to get me into your door. Now, before I get to that, lead generation, prospecting, marketing, sales, and even customer service are a lot easier to manage when you have systems in place, when you have marketing automation, when you have CRMs, when you have all the tools that you can use to be able to manage your business and grow it. So the question is, how many of you already have some of those tools? How many of you want more of those tools? Cool. It just exited it out, didn't it? You guys are seeing all of the secrets. They were secrets. The agenda for today, so you guys saw this on the website. First things first, arrive, check in, network, have fun, grab breakfast, find your seat. We're going to give an overview in just a moment here. I'm going to do a short 35-minute presentation, and then you guys are going to be able to talk about this for the next 60 minutes. And then after the fact, we're going to have you guys set up action steps of what you're going to do, what challenges you might be facing, and then you'll share that with the groups. And then after that, there's an event in here at 10:30. So at 10, we're going to be moving, for anybody who wants to stay, into the other room there. So anytime after 10, we'll be doing a networking activity for the people who want to stay. All right, how many of you have ever heard of this little company called Apple? Maybe once, yeah. So during their last launch, actually this is 2 launches ago now, because they just launched the 6S. During the 6 and the 6 Plus launch, they had $4 billion with a B in pre-sales within the first 72 hours. That's a lot of money to be making without ever creating a product. They didn't actually have anything except for a website and a one-page piece of paper that said, here's what the cool little features are. So, all of these new little features that we're going to include, which includes 1 extra pixel on your camera, 3 extra, DPI on your screen, and a couple of cool little processing stuff. And we're going to charge you an extra $600 for it. And everybody who buys Apple goes out and buys a new one. So the question, of course, on that is, how many of you want to know how to do pre-selling? How to use automation to pre-sell so you can at least get a fraction of that? So before I get ahead of myself, though, how many of you want to know who I am? I know a couple people. I know some of you, and I don't know some of the others. Half of you guys. So this is cool. So I have built 7 profitable businesses, and there's lots of ones that were not profitable. 6 and 7 figures, hundreds of clients around the world, traveled, CEO, all the fun stuff. But it wasn't always that way. I love being an entrepreneur. I started as an entrepreneur in 1995 in 2nd grade, when I used to sell paper balloons and origami paper balloons in the fortune tellers, which was really cool because I could go buy mango and I could go do everything that I wanted to do. By the time I was in 6th grade, I had started 6 companies, paper art newspapers, which lasted about 2 weeks. I didn't like going door to door. An arts and craft company, teaching people how to play D&D, marketing company, and an e-commerce company. Mostly, well, it was, I call it e-commerce, but it was commerce at school. Anybody at school wanted any kind of products, services, anything, I went and bought it and charged them about double. Little markup. That was really awesome until I got a huge ego because I was 18 and I knew it all, and nobody else in the world could teach me anything new. And I started to lose myself until I lost everything. I got to a point where I had lost tens of thousands of dollars, and I felt depressed. I felt hopeless. I didn't know where I was going to be able to go, and I didn't know if I could continue on this journey. My friends and family told me that I could do it, I could push through it. They helped me, they mentored me. I found teachers and mentors who could really support me in growing as a person. Through that, I started analyzing all of the successful businesses that I'd had, because mind you, after between 18 and 22, I had started over 20 businesses. Most of them failed, most of them lost money, and it really sucked. But then I figured out a very specific formula that we use time and time again for us and for our clients that actually made us profitable. And the same formula I used to start a social media company that launched and within 7 days had made over $1,000 in profit. Of course, this was at the boom of Facebook. And since Facebook changes everything every 3 months, I got tired of changing it, so we shut down the company, which was a really great system because I had a team that implemented all of the stuff that I sold, and for every $100, I put 95 in my pocket. Growing pains through that, between 2014 where Caitlin, I have no idea where she is, but we partnered up and we co-created what's now Invert. And there have been a lot of trials and growing pains, and we've hired a lot of people, we've fired a lot of people, and we've brought on a team. And up until about a week ago, we had 8 people, and we're actually letting a partner, me and a partner are parting ways because my vision and their vision are different. And there's nothing wrong with that. It's actually a really cool thing. But through that process of growing and bringing on the partners and bringing on the team, we've had a lot of great successes. A 24K sale, a 30K sale, a 20K sale, a 55,000 plus 15% and more. And I don't say that because I want to brag it. I really don't like telling people how much I've made. I tell it to you because that's a product of the systems that we put in place. That has to do with marketing automation. That has to do with knowing who our target market is, being able to go after them, and also having the team to actually produce that for them. Part of the team, and I forgot to put that picture in, that would be Caitlin. She is missing, so it's actually, you know, is representative. And the rest of our team, John is awesome. He does our social media. He's actually online right now promoting and posting ads. Paul and John actually and Jane as well, who's on the last page, put this entire presentation together yesterday. So I want to give them a huge round of applause because I would not be here without them. Thank you. Floor, she was actually made some calls. Some of you actually might have spoke to Floor. Possibly you, no? Okay. Some people spoke to Floor. We had, by the way, Friday is probably one of the worst days to do an event. But per our schedule, we wanted to do it on Friday the 13th rather than Thursday the 12th, which is the best day to do it. Just for, I like market testing. Sometimes it doesn't work. And Lloyd also, he makes calls. He actually does calls mostly for our clients. Here's the overview of what we're going to be doing. Talking about today, 6 keys to a successful launch, the act of doing business, which is our signature system, and marketing automation. So can you pass out the invert form, the invert blueprint? Yeah. And I'd like one too. So here's the 6 key components that we go through in every single launch, and these actually break down into 72 parts, like when you go all the way down really in deep. We're just going to go big picture here. At the end, you're also going to get the assessment, so you can actually do a self-assessment for yourselves, and it's the same thing we do with our clients. The impact is a huge component. How many of you are here to make an impact on the world? Awesome. And how many of you know that that impact is going to propel your vision and your dream and your legacy forward? So if you're not making the impact that you want to be making, then being very clear and learning how to define it is extremely important. Knowing exactly who you're talking to, when you want to get to know them, how you're going to connect with them. Do you want to come closer, or do you want to, we can just, is there, yeah, cool. I just want to have you come on in. How many of you want to be leaders in your industry? Be seen as the leader. How many, I should say, how many of you are already leaders? You're just not seen as leaders by everybody that you know should see you as one. Yeah. And that's a truism across the board. Next, niche, and I'm going to actually run through these quickly because I want to, you guys have these so you can read them. The biggest component about understanding your niche is being able to create a community around what you offer, because you are very well defined. We went from offering marketing campaigns to any business in the B2B market that needed a marketing campaign. When we niched down, we went to doing launches only. We got those results that I shared with you earlier. That was a big part of that, was knowing exactly who we're talking to. The vision, having a clear vision that you can articulate to the world, is extremely important, and it's how you can actually achieve your impact and your vision. Engagement. How many of you are already marketing? I'm just curious. Okay, and how many of you do social media marketing and direct mail marketing? Okay. So all types of marketing can be valuable to you, but you have to figure out which one's more valuable or not. For instance, LinkedIn for us generates 3 to 4 times more than Facebook does. That doesn't mean that we're not going to do Facebook marketing. That just means that if we have a certain budget and we know we can allocate this much to LinkedIn and there's some left over, we might go to Facebook, or we might go to picking up the phone, or we might go to 100 different other things that we could do. But we look at exactly, I know that on Facebook, for every $100 I spend, I get about a return of about $115 to $130. On LinkedIn, for every $100 I spend, I get anywhere between $400 to $500. Yeah, yeah. So where can you actually engage and get people to opt in and capture their information? Recommendations. This comes from co-creating, collaborating, from designing a plan of action for that person specifically. Rather than just telling them what they want, if you have some, how many of you offer a 2,000, 5,000, 10,000 plus offer over the course of a year or lifetime of a customer? Okay. So, and what's for the rest of you, a couple hundred, 500, 1,000? Is that right? Okay. So whatever your biggest offer is, that comes from building a relationship and co-creating, and there's no reason that they won't want to come back and buy more and more and more if you're able to build that relationship and share with them why it's going to help them achieve their vision, because you're here to impact them. You're here to make a difference in their life. Transformation, getting them the results that they actually want to get, that you tell them that they're going to get. And then from that, how many of you have a system to get referrals? Okay, how many of you have a system to get them to come back and buy more from you? So for the rest of you, part of the discussion, by the way, is to identify what you don't have and what you do have, and then talk about it so you guys can kind of co-create and build on each other, what each other is doing, to figure out how you can put those systems in your own business. All right, number 2, ACT blueprint. Yeah. So the ACT, which is attract, collaborate, and transform, which you might see some relationship to the last 3 steps on the previous one, is a huge component to the actual marketing campaign itself. So attracting your ideal client. How many of you know exactly who you should be talking to every single day at every single moment? Yeah. A really great, so actually I'm going to end up splitting you guys up so some of you guys can go over here and you guys can help collaborate and work with each other when we get to the exercise portion. Knowing exactly who to target means that you know where they hang out. So let's imagine, for instance, a college student. If you're trying to attract a college student, we all know where they hang out. They hang out at the library, they hang out at Starbucks mostly, and they hang out at Disneyland when they have money. So I guess not Disneyland, but maybe the Balboa Park would be a great place for them. So where can you find them? If you know that they hang out at Starbucks, well, maybe you want to talk to the owner or the manager of the Starbucks to ask them if you can put something on their bulletin board, where every time that college student is going, oh, I want to look for a cool event. Oh, that looks like something that I could use. And from there, you can actually attract them. And that's a form of no cost. Well, it costs you what, 30 cents to print up a piece of paper and put it up. And being able to do that and ask, a little bit of time. Now, if you know they hang out on certain forums and social media, great. That may be somewhere you can post too. Once you've engaged them, once you've started to build that relationship where they can see they might be an expert or a leader in the industry that I can trust, and I'm using a broader term here, but there's somebody that I want to get to know because they have something that I can benefit from, then I want to give you my contact information. So at that point, you can capture their info. Perfect example. If you have something that you offer for $10,000, and that offer, you're offering it to somebody who makes $500,000 a year, or a business who has $500,000 in revenue every single year. That, yes, they can afford it. Versus the person who makes $7 million a year, and they can afford it a lot easier than the person making $500,000. Is that right? So if you know that, who would you rather target? The person making $500,000 or the person making $7 million? Cool. Collaborate. Basically, just build relationships, figure out exactly what it is that you can co-create with them. And this is actually step number 5 on parts of that are on step number 5 and also the center section of this page. So you can co-create, design, and develop exactly what they want, exactly what they need. Inspire them and engage them with insights and information. Once you've done that, ask them what it is that they want from you and provide it to them. How many of you have joint ventures? How many of you don't know what a joint venture is? Okay, a joint venture is somebody who has a similar target market or has a list of your target market and is willing to promote you for some benefit to them. That may be cross promotion, it may be a percentage of sales, it may be, there's a bunch of other reasons why, and those are the two main reasons is you promote me, I'll promote you. And it's actually often both, where you promote me, I'll promote you, and then we'll give commission based on who makes what sales. And that may be over the life of the customer over a certain period of time. From there, deliver. I mean, it makes sense, but I don't know how many times I've seen people forget to deliver on what they do. They give, and then it's like, oh, I made the sale, and now we don't know where else to go. Let's go make the next sale. And they give it, but they don't give it their all. Because there's delivery, and then there's just giving it. You know, just here's what you asked for, but then there's delivering results, which is really more where it's at. Transformation. Big bags of money. That comes from delivering the results. From there, you can actually ask. So Infusionsoft, which is the system that we use, our CRM, has a really cool training. And they also have a cool campaign that they offer. And it's a survey. Once you've delivered, you send them the survey that says, did I do great or did I do bad? And if it's a 7 or below, well, if it's like 5 to 7, you give them a call, right? You know, you write them, and you've got a specific sequence that goes to that. If it's below a 5, it's like give them their money back and don't ask for anything back, and find out how you can deliver. And that's, you know, they're kind of the rule of thumb. And if it's 7 and above, then it's ask for a referral, which is a pretty simple system. And if you know every single customer that you deliver to, if they like what you do, then why aren't you asking for referrals? And also on top of that, this is something I added. I asked them, you know, what's the next, you know, out of what we just did, what new challenges or problems or symptoms arose as a result of what we just did for you, or the other things that you're doing, because we know that, you know, while we may be helping with one thing, there's 100 other things going on in that person's business. And that helps us achieve our goal internally as the company. Next form. The linked with clients. Yep, that's the one. This is our process for leveraging LinkedIn to generate leads. We're also going to be talking about marketing automation, but this is a key component, and I bet you guys would benefit from seeing this. And this is also, how many of you figured that since you were coming to this event that you might receive some kind of offer? Just curious. Okay, well, this is the offer. If you guys are interested, you know, let me know. If we have forms that you guys can fill out. If not, this is the purpose of this event, is for you guys to collaborate and co-create together as a result of that. Lead generation. So like I shared with you before, there's lots of ways that you can generate leads. Actually, I want to let it play its thing out. Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter are the 3 main social media platforms. Once you've built a relationship with them on one of those platforms, there's various ways that you can connect with them. Right now, video is one of the highest engaging points on Facebook. Pictures and articles are one of the highest engaging points on LinkedIn. And just following somebody and doing little tweets back and forth are really popular on Twitter. Now, these are just a couple of examples of things that you can do to actually build those relationships and get people to connect with you and build a relationship with you, so then you can launch what you're, you know, share what you're launching with them. So the LinkedIn process is there. The very first thing that we do, by the way, and this is not in the slide, so I'll just go over this fairly quickly, is the very first thing is knowing your target market and being able to identify them. By the way, you can do this on any platform. You just have to know exactly where to find them, where to build that relationship, and how to connect with them. I've done this on Facebook. I've done this on Twitter. I've done this on Google+, Meetup. I mean, there's countless places I've done this for. And once you've identified exactly who they are, the next thing is connecting, right? Yeah, engage. Can I have one of those? Just to make sure that I'm following along with the words there. So. The articles are extremely important. So once you've targeted them, then ask them to connect. So that way you can get their contact information. By the way, on LinkedIn, how many of you have a LinkedIn profile? Okay. If you didn't know, you can go to the connections tab, and then there's like a little cogwheel, and you can download all of your LinkedIn connections. Their name, email, title, and company. If they have a phone number, you have to go directly into their profile. People were downloading those lists for making cold calls, so they got rid of that feature. But you can still pick up the phone. You can go through and one by one and look at the people in your target market. It's also great because you can search by different segments and go, well, this person's in San Diego, and this person's in this target market, or whatever it is that you're looking for, and you can send out through that as well. From there, once you've done that, build a relationship through articles. We use articles from Inc., Forbes, Fortune, Entrepreneur, and we share articles that, one, express the value and the, why it's important to look at services like ours. And then the very next article is something that we wrote that relates back to what the first article was, that says, hey, by the way, here's what we think is really important about this. And if you're interested, let's have a conversation. Once you've connected with them, you can download their contact information. I went through that, and continue to build that relationship with them. Ask them to pick up the phone, ask them to meet with you for coffee. Just send them really valuable information and offer to meet. Oh, offering to meet, that was the next. We are launching or helping you grow your company, then there are 100 other people who can help. The second thing is that you want to make a lot of money doing it, because that's the purpose of business. And not just revenue, but profit, because anybody can make revenue. I know lots of companies that make a lot of money and are negative, like Caesar's Palace. They are like $4 billion negative every single year somehow. The third is that you want to grow your company and you want to achieve the goals of your company. So other than your financial and impact goals, you may have other goals that you want to achieve. And the changing lives. With automation, you can increase your conversion rate. So one of our clients had a 33% conversion rate, and I think this is on the next slide anyways, but had a 33% conversion rate. We see consistently, and that should actually be 163% engagement over not using automation. And you can generate hundreds of leads every single day and increase your revenue by using automation, guaranteed. We went from, well, personally, I went from working 60 hours a week to working about 40 hours a week just through putting automation tools in place. And then bringing on partners went down from there, and bringing on employees went down from there, and then I found new things to do. There we go. All right, 1,200 leads and $60,000 in 60 days. Carl LaGreco. Alon, who this was actually 2 weeks ago, I believe, or a week and a half, 2 weeks ago. Well, I sat down with him for 2 hours. I laid out his plan of action and showed him how in 3 hours a week, getting on the phone, because that was what he needed to do, he could make $120,000 a year. Yolanda, who she's from a Fortune 100 company. She spent 2 days, or she spent a couple of days here in San Diego. She flew in with a bunch of other people, and in the time that we were looking at her strategy, we showed her how to build an $18 million company. John, 93% opt-in rate. By the way, he has a list. He never actually does anything online. He sends out to them an email every once in a while, but he doesn't create landing pages. He doesn't do any of that. We set up a landing page and a video and an application page for him. He had a 93% opt-in on the landing page and a 33% conversion on an application to a $5,000 program, which was awesome for him. And the last one is Alicia. I spent a couple hours with her, showed her how to make $140,000 a year in profit without changing anything except for the packages that she was offering to her clients. Here comes the formal offer. So all of this cool stuff. Landing page. So did you see the website, or you just came? You just came. That's right. A landing page is a website which has a button or a form that you put in your name, phone number, email, or any other kind of contact information. It generally has a call to action or some kind of offer that's involved. Did you print 20 of those? Okay. That's fine. Oh, I don't think we need 20. I was just curious if. By the way, we had, this goes back to the doing an event on a Friday thing. We had 20 people total registered. And a couple like you, I knew that you were coming, and Yoichi came right at the last minute. And it's surprising how many people will show up for themselves, not for, this is here just to, you don't have to put them over there. Okay. So the formal offer, you don't have to worry about the $12,500 one. That's later down the road if you're interested. The biggest thing here is having a step-by-step system for lead generation through LinkedIn. So assuming you want to generate leads through LinkedIn, you will be able to create, we design personalized videos designed specifically for your profile so that you can follow this process, or somebody in your team can follow this process. We give you a list of 3,000 lions, and this list has hundreds of people in all sorts of different industries, which is great because it gets you a nice boost in leads. The average client that uses that list gets anywhere between 300 to 500 leads out of it that they don't have to pay us for, which is really cool, because that's included in that. We help you update your profile, and we give you recommendations on the rest. So we update the top 3 key components: the headline, which gets people to actually click into your profile; the summary, which gets people to have interest in what you do; and the call to action, which is self-explanatory, but gets people to take action to do what you do. Bonuses, we are doing an event here. You get 2 guest passes to that. So the total value is $17.26, and a half-day VIP day with me. And you saw all the results when we did the strategy session on the last page, which I normally charge $4,300 for. And we will explore. That helps us explore what types of automation tools you guys can be using if that's something you want to explore. So if that's something you want to do, you can fill that out, and at the end you can hand it in. If not, you can take this home, or if you do want it, you'll also get another copy. You can take this home and model it if you do your own event, because we took this from somebody else. Cool stuff. Oh yes, why use LinkedIn? #1 business-to-business tool, then Twitter, then Facebook, and then everything else. You get the point. Power drill. So this is actually my favorite part. Not making the offer, because I like marketing. I'm not a salesperson. Well, I am technically a salesperson, but that's a what is that? A theoretical or a philosophical? Philosophical. Thank you. I was like, I knew the word. The first way you said I was number better. Good. It's recorded. I'll go back and listen. This is actually one of my favorite parts of this, which is the collaboration and co-creation. How many of you are totally impressed with this space, by the way? And how many of you guys like building relationships with other key centers of influence? So we love Corporate Alliance. I mean, there is a boundless amount of shifts and life-changing moments that have happened as a result of and through the connections we've made at Corporate Alliance. And Ed here has been gracious enough to host the power drill for this morning, and he's going to share a little bit about what Corporate Alliance is. And I believe if you guys want to come to either the Jumpstart, which is lunch, or executive pools, which depends on where you are in business, he'll share a little bit about that.
Thank you. Welcome. Well, first of all, I want to welcome everybody to Corporate Alliance, our physical space. We are a professional membership organization. Because we have a physical space, I tell people that we're the human piece of the touch piece to LinkedIn. LinkedIn is technology, and you connect. Here we facilitate and accelerate the process of building business relationships, and we really do that through friendship. Our corporate sponsors, or partners, I should say, are the people on the wall. We have a lounge that you may have seen when you came in. We have a board room. We have an innovation room, which is a whiteboard session that people get to use. And we have the Sandler training room, has a whiteboard. And we have lots of folks come in here. This is the event center. Pulls up to about 100 people, I think. But we have our monthly breakfast and lunches here. We have outside speakers come in once a month. We also have member workshops where our members from all different industries actually collaborate, Oxford's, and offer kind of, I won't say free advice, but a little bit of what they do. So that's kind of what we do. But one of our signature exercises that we do, we start every one of our breakfasts, every one of our lunches. We also, before I forget, have retreats, or we call them summits, where there is one full day off-site, and we have, for the executive pools level, they're 2-day retreats. And I'm happy to announce that Pool Summit for May 19th to 20th is actually going to be held at Disneyland, the Disneyland Hotel. So
Nice.
we're pretty excited about that, and we're hoping to all of us will be have a little time to be blue boys and girls. Anyway, Power Drill. This is a signature exercise that we do again. Start every one of our meetings. The intent of this is really to get to know somebody before we really get into the business thing. It's all about connection. It's all about candidly finding common ground, knowing someone. So I will demonstrate or give you an example, and then the table will go through this. First and foremost, stick to the 1 minute. I know you may have a great story. You may be so proud of what you do, but really, in fairness, it's intended to be very quick, and also it's intended to be memorable. So on the professional part, why you do things and what you do. So I will attempt to give you an example of what the Power Drill is about. You got a choice. You can do your childhood hero growing up, or what your favorite sport or activity in school was. I had the privilege of playing 3 sports in high school: soccer, basketball, and baseball. I had the privilege of playing soccer and basketball in college. My favorite sport, probably, I loved playing basketball, but I was probably best at soccer. I coached soccer, so I would say soccer was my favorite sport. By the way, my high school didn't have football growing up, so that's one of the reasons I didn't play football. So that's my favorite part. Professionally, I wake up each and every day wanting to help as many people as I can live happier, healthier, more productive lives. And I do that from smiling to somebody, opening a door for somebody. It came from the health and productivity world, so I have a kind of a wellness spin to it. But what I do now, I said earlier, is I have the privilege of running this place. So I get to connect people every day and introduce and watch the magic happen. Talking Caitlin, meeting Daniel, and what Derek does. The privilege of dealing with Angela once in a while. No. We know what we don't let those insurance people. Just kidding. I love being on Angela. So anyway, that's how the Power Drill works. Again, pick a question, go around the table, and for those that are interested in Corporate Alliance, we have a wonderful staff here. Jasmine, I believe, is out front. Judy, unfortunately, is sick today, but I'll be around for a little bit, and enjoy your day here. You're welcome.
Awesome.
Well, thank you.
Good. Thank you.
Just to take a quick restroom break, that I want to be involved in part of it.
Yeah. We just went about 45 minutes, so if everybody wants to take a 5-minute break, run to the restroom. Yeah. Bio. Yeah, I figure.
Restrooms are out the door to the left, all the way to the end of the hall, to the right. It is. You get your pedometer. This is how we get our 10,000 steps in every day.
All right.
How are you?
Good. How you doing?
My name is Salva, and I'm from Mexico City. And I just looked at all your entrepreneur launching. How do you do that? Because making all this business at the same time, and then you have to go for it, or you have to, I don't know how you start. You know what I mean? Just decided to go to, and then what if something
Yes.
wrong happens? You know what I mean?
So I'll answer a little more in depth when we get to the discussion section. But the key component is to know why you're doing it and to target one group of people. That's a really big component to starting it and to building it. And it's just going out there. It's just really just getting yourself out there and asking people, in that market who could use what you have to offer and finding out if that's something that they're interested in. And,
Okay, because I made a list of all these ideas that I could go, but I could just go on and on and on and months and years to make all those lists, and then suddenly I decided to just export silver products from Mexico to the United States. So I don't know, I'm just still deciding, like, a lot of numbers, but then I need to have probably a deadline because otherwise it will.
That helps.
But I don't, I mean,
Well, if you'd like, we can sit down afterwards and we can set up either a call or you can come back here and we can do a more in-depth strategy session and kind of identify.
thank you. Do you have your card?
The book we're gonna give out at the end. That's my card. I don't actually have any cards.
Okay.
But yeah.
Well, that's nice. Actually, I just moved from Mexico City.
Okay.
I've been here for like 2 weeks, and I'm just looking for work. So, and I don't know, probably to just start my own business and see. I know it will take longer, but I'm just still stuck in my head, like long time ago. So that's why.
Cool. Well, we can definitely help. There's a lot that you can do. And I'd be happy to share a lot of resources with you.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Hi.
You're hot.
I am hot.
I'm Wendy.
Nice.
Nice to meet you too. I'm sorry I was late. It happened on 6 o'clock in the morning, left until 8 o'clock. So I came down all the way from Fallbrook.
Oh, wow.
And then I got here and all I didn't have your number in my phone. I didn't have your email. I didn't have anything. I was like, I just saw people in here. I was like, I hope this is the right spot.
Well, welcome. Glad that you made it.
So I loved your presentation. And thanks for the secret about being able to download.
You're welcome. That's been one of the, it's like amazing for us.
Yeah.
It doesn't mean like you still can't send out like newsletter stuff to them because they haven't opted in for it.
Right.
But you can definitely, email them personally and it gets you past the LinkedIn because a lot of people filter their LinkedIn. Like I have a separate email for my LinkedIn.
Right.
It doesn't even go to.
Yeah.
It's managed by my team and I don't actually look at it half the time.
Right.
Unless they say, hey, you need to respond to this person.
Yeah,
I don't know what to say.
Right, right.
So, there's a lot of value to being able to do that for yourself.
Oh, for sure. Well, I do all the right things, and maybe it's just because I have an e-commerce business for natural health products. I don't have to be there. People just go online and, buy stuff. But in financial services, I can't do it. You know what I mean? There's like opt-ins for, infographics on how to retire or, whatever. But I'm just not getting that.
Yeah, there's
Conversion.
there's a lot to it, especially in the financial industry. I used to do insurance with Primerica a long time ago, so that's part of my growth path.
Yeah.
One of the many business part of the one of those things that I started and made some money, but didn't spent months to make a couple $100. I'm like, isn't my passion?
I know. Well,
So-
the purpose of it is my passion, but it is the most difficult.
And
And I shouldn't keep saying that to the universe. I should say it's the easiest money for me. But there are so many variables that are out of your control that it can get.
so
Really
something that I
frustrating.
had, I think it was that presentation actually, that I heard was the average time that it takes. Oh, that was actually here. So I was trying to remember where I heard it. Jeff Bezos, Amazon's CEO, said that most relationships take 2 to 3 years to really develop and show the true ROI. And when it comes to the financial industries world, that's generally true.
Yeah.
For the true, now you may get, people at, 3 months or 6 months that get one policy or, get one thing with you, but then, it's a completely different than the true ROI that you get from them.
Right.
And then that includes financial, social, emotional, and intellectual. So all of the components from that, the true relationship. And LinkedIn is a tool to build those relationships and then get them to have coffee with you. And the coffee is not about selling what you do at the time.
Right.
It's about getting to build that relationship and figuring out,
Oh,
you
yeah.
know, how, like, where do you guys, you know, especially in San Diego and San Diego and Fallbrook is that technically Temecula
Like
County?
10 miles south.
Yeah,
of my-
I'm just not sure if that.
I'll catch you.
Yeah, well, actually, I'm gonna, after the fact, I'm gonna, bring it to the homeless. Okay. So, yeah, I mean, if we can keep it all, included, yeah, well, we're gonna donate it as we go after the fact this afternoon. We're gonna go downtown. Do you have anything to? I think I forgot that. They should have. Ed, are there the big Ziploc bags? Are there the big Ziploc bags in the kitchen? Caitlin, can you find some big Ziploc bags? Probably like.
I picked on Angela today.
All righty, everybody. So for the power drill, can I have you take a keep time for this table here?
Sure.
And Angela, can you move over to this table? Thank you. Yeah. That way we can, when you share ideas, the table can get some cool insights. And at some point during the discussion, I'm gonna have you guys kind of switch it up since we got a small enough group. We can do that. And can you keep time at this table? Awesome.
Okay, who wants to go first? Angela, you want to go, since you've done this before? All right, 2 minutes, please.
Thank you, guys. And if you guys, I don't know if you guys wanted to take anything or for you guys, but you're welcome to. I know when I used to work at Einstein Bagels at one point. At the end of each day, we had a huge trash bag full of bagels. Like
I've seen places that have trash bags full of hamburgers,
yeah,
bagels, and old donuts and stuff.
it's insane.
We'd be like, can we have that trash bag? People are like, what is that trash bag? Like, here.
It's in a clean trash bag.
I think it's just the association. Yeah, it's like the association. It's like, ew, that's dirty. It's trash. It's like,
I'm gonna take one of those cheese ones. I'm gonna take these from me.
I have a half one for you.
Oh, that one.
Half one. Hey, at least I'm letting you have half one.
Okay.
Because I need that. If you really want one. Yeah, whatever. Did you want that cheese one?
Yeah, I'll take the cheese one for myself.
I recommend you eat it.
I will. I'll eat it later. Hmm?
Yeah.
thank you.
Yeah.
Never mind.
I don't feel like wearing these.
Yeah, when I went at Einstein's, we had the huge oven. At one point, I kind of forgot because it was a really busy day and pulled out the rack of new bagels out of the oven. Experience, yeah, not fun. Yeah,
I mean, they're just hands.
right. They grow back. At least the skin does, you know. As long as you don't lose, you know. Mhm. Yeah.
I've done that before.
Yeah.
I've taken out. I've taken. Yeah, I regenerate all the time. I don't know why. Oh, that's for this is. I'm making a bag.
Mhm. Yeah, we're taking the afternoon off after this. Yeah. Oh wait, Staples now? Yep. You get the joke? Yeah. You mix both of them in here? Awesome. Caitlin, can you put these in the fridge? Can you put them in the fridge until we leave?
Oh, I know.
Can you put all of it in the fridge actually? Cool, thank you. You can put that one in the office. You can put that one in the office. Put the rest of this in the fridge. Even the bagels should stay in the fridge, just that way. Yeah. How are you guys doing over here? Are we all done or? Nope, halfway? How much was it? How much was the printing?
Did it in different sections. About just shy of $3 for each, and then for the agenda it was about.
And why did the one print in color?
Oh, I printed it. I don't know why, but it didn't get printed. I thought I selected it, but there were a lot of them, and they all have very similar titles.
That's fine. That's fine. I just, you did an awesome job, okay? You did amazing. I appreciate it. It's not Hero?
Actually, yes, it is. Thanks very much. My favorite sport actually, I used to do a lot of running.
Can you collect the video releases? Please? Yeah. Yours.
You know what, I'm gonna say my hero growing up, I don't know if I was the best, I don't know how it was. I read books like Dave and Life. I read books like The Day in the Life of George Emerson. It's about a man who survived the, and Garth Campbell and whoever else lost. Pretty kind of. So my.
Can you count it, make sure that we have everybody?
How many today?
How many people are in the room? Oh, I gave her 2 of them. Because I printed this one, because we had a couple people here and I wanted to get them. So Angela's 2. Sorry about that one. Huh? Well, that may be. I think she can. He came from. Wendy and missing Wendy and after the video, pass these out. Doing great. Thank you so much for your help. You can't breathe afterwards? You get a break afterwards? Yeah. You can join. Thank you.
I'm the oldest of 4 boys.
Okay, sports. So my name's Daniel, and my favorite sports were soccer and rugby. So I think Daniel's son.
You're not spoiled.
Are you guys done over here?
Professionally, how do I help others and so who I am. So I'm a person who started healthcare, trying to study Southern I do is I,
Be done in like 2 minutes.
I love that. Financial
Unless you consider it.
Definitely said that.
I
We're
will,
not part of Canada, really.
I will talk back to Hawks who has a Canadian food.
So thanks to my team, they selected this video, and it's actually kind of funny. Salute.
In a primitive world, marketers were forced to take relief. A miserable job at best, finding only the most unqualified leads at the bottom of the barrel. How could they be qualified? They couldn't. And sales just had to be. Sucks to be sales. Meanwhile, sales is trying to close deals, but they can't. They think marketing keeps passing over worthless leads. Be sure sure does look angry. And the last place any marketer wants to be is on the receiving end of a CEO's wrath. He hears from sales that your leads just aren't cutting it. Well, Drax, what do you say to that? Will sales and marketing ever be aligned? Yes, upon the dawn of marketing automation. Witness the incredible impact, the raw power of complete ROI tracking. Communicate with and engage your audience. Distribute your content via multiple channels. Target your audience like never before. The leads you thought were dead, suddenly brought back to life through nurturing. Finally, you can enjoy a peaceful harmony between sales and marketing. Before you know it, everyone will be pointing out marketing's incredible impact on revenue. Now you can report to the executive team with confidence. You will be showing numbers like 28% more leads, 75% faster sales cycle, and a healthy year-over-year revenue growth of 40%. Now, doesn't that feel good? My marketing friends, in this modern world, you don't have to worry about anything. In this world, we have marketing on it.
There you go. Give it a round. This is an ad for another company.
That's brilliant. That's genius.
That is.
By the way, it's not for another company that does what we do. It's for Marketo, and they use it's a similar to Infusionsoft, only about 3 times more expensive. And since I'm a partner with Infusionsoft, yeah, we like to sell Infusionsoft instead. But they didn't have a funny video like this, so. All right, the roundtable discussion. Can you pass out the, this is the roundtable discussion. I'm gonna pass out a form for you guys, not completely related to the discussion, but may give you areas that you wanna focus on and look at while you're doing this. Both solutions as well as challenges that you're facing, things that you will find as a benefit, and this is the form I was talking to you about. This is also the same form that we used in our enrollment conversations that help really identify and lay out exactly why you want it, what challenges you're having, and what it's going to do for you in the end, and all the cool tools that we can use for you. So you're definitely, I recommend pinpointing what areas, I have one, thank you. What areas you would like to focus on in your business regarding automation and sales, and how it may impact, that was not supposed to be a pun, each key area. So whether it's the impact, the niche, the vision, how you engage your clients, how you can get them to come back, and what you can do to recommend the right thing for them, or how you can transform their life. So these are obviously key areas. And my guess is each one of you has some of these, or possibly even all of these down, though there's always room for improvement. Every time I do this for our business, I always find new challenges and problems that we need to solve. So it's a never-ending process of growth and development. So you guys can take it away. Do you guys want to facilitate your group again? And did you facilitate or did you? Okay. I'm gonna choose new facilitators, actually. Angela and Dirk. And as the facilitator, if you feel uncomfortable, part of facilitating means you're allowed to delegate. How are you?
Good, how are you?
Good, thank you.
You know what, I've been
Damn, that worked.
Big brother.
Yeah.
Just, want to find out how I can help. Insights, ideas, thoughts.
Well, I think too, you know, it's interesting, going through this exercise here, lead generation is different than the sales component. So with lead generation, I think, talk to your point today, who are you targeting? What efforts are you, going after, so to speak? Who are you trying to set up meetings with? Once you identify the target, then it's, I'll call it the sales funnel. And the process that you go through, candidly, there should be automation in that process. Here's what you do, you send out an email to introduce yourself. Somebody is, in our world, the process is you kind of have that conversation while you're looking for it. You invite them to an event. They come to an event. There you go. What is the post event? They come, this whole thing, because ideally, in the sophisticated world, you should be able to, your conversion rates should increase as you go down. And so, at the end of the day, it helps salespeople to say, gee, if you spend all your time with the 10 people that are here, you're going to have a 7% close ratio because they're ready to go. The negotiation stage, or however you want it. Yet, you have salespeople that are running around here trying to chase the lead.
When you network with somebody, and I think for you too, you
That's
do
the frustrating
attend
part.
quality networking events that have those like kind of people. And then you
personally just
do,
from,
when it comes to networking.
I just started my business about a year ago, so started
Lots
with
of times
nothing
those
from
are
scratch.
going and show up, once or twice.
And now that I've got
Then you put it
people
in
in
the way, and they trust you.
follow-up process, it can be a long turnaround, and it's trying to find those triggers
They refer
that
you refer them, you
cause
go
them
to
to want to take action.
What's your company now?
Insurance. So, it's creating that sense of urgency. Something that's already insurance. I mean, who wants to talk about insurance? So what
I know the feeling.
Who wants to start? Who actually wants to listen?
Right.
Yeah.
We know you want to talk.
or like your follow-up.
Not really.
Probably rather talk about something else.
I like the way you described it. Very interesting. We have a attorney.
Yeah.
We just had an accident case where the person didn't have the 100, I think 100 was back, 25, whatever, a low number. And the one that got in the accident was complaining. Well, the other person didn't have much coverage. Yet that person
Yeah,
themselves
but
didn't
the
have
thing
that
is,
coverage.
it's not everything
It's
that's
like,
gonna be the same, it's
How can I blame,
the bulk of
Hawk, if
what
he's
you
got
say
the
you
same
do,
coverage?
and I mean, it's always
And that's what,
similar
people,
thing, and it's just opening
candidly, I think
paragraph,
all,
open
there's
paragraph,
a lot of skills
you know,
don't take the time.
because when I find it, I think content is I wrote it down separately, so you just have to
Because it's
have the
how
right
quickly can I
copy
get it
written
inside,
for you,
as opposed to
for the bulk of it, and then everything else.
what do they do?
Mm-hmm. Like, you know, because you see the firm or whatever. Yeah, I mean, it's not, you have to figure it out. And you should have a CRM.
Well, one of the things I see all the time is the marketing and the salesperson are the same people, when they really are two very different roles.
Well, it's totally
Yeah,
different skills.
and I use.
And when one person does, like I'm in the marketing, but I do sales. And
Yeah, so.
when I have our sales guy do sales, he has like a 50% close, and I got like anywhere between a 20 and 30%.
You have to.
And my sales cycle is like a month longer than theirs,
You have a
which is, you know,
newsletter, you can do mail ship, you can get response or whatever. But there's the other one where you keep all your contact information. And that is, you can find ones that are very, either free, free. Yeah, but it's just integrating.
Yeah, that's the thing, when, yeah,
Sales
because
is
for,
much more a process.
you can't extract the data. You know, you start with a free one, and it's locked in. That's a lot of time, and all that is.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah, one of the questions is how do I export the data?
yeah.
Lead generation,
If you grow beyond the platform that you're
building a
working in,
brand,
which that,
and I think
Yeah.
something like, have you used
the whole value prop, right?
something that's.
Your market,
that I
what
started using.
value prop you actually provide. We have a lot of people come in, here thinking that this is transaction networking environment.
I haven't used it, but I've seen it.
If you come in here as a transactional behavior,
Oh my God, trying to find time. I just have a link, you know, in my signature, that when I email you guys and say, hey, you know, check out my calendar.
what we see, again, we're not.
Yeah, we use another program. We use meetme.so.
Yeah, yeah.
Same thing. It's called Schedule Once, but the link is meetme.so. You can also go to Schedule Once.
I use calendar.
There's 100 of them.
Yeah, it's just kind of,
Really
I
come
like
in
it
here
because,
and for the
you
first
can build a
year,
template to respond and
really
build
focus
a
on learning
time
about
base
everybody, how the
to
system
document
process
for also
works.
secure.
Yes, there are people that in the first
So it
year
builds
have
out the
transaction,
integrate that with,
great,
get response.
Yeah.
So you can have that.
second year, you
Yeah.
start.
Meet. Yeah. So most CRMs have a collaborative. They collaborate with one scheduling system. Reason why we use MeetMe is it integrates with Infusionsoft, and that's why. There's another one that integrates with Infusionsoft, but I don't like some of the features in it. First, it's actually lacking some of the features that MeetMe has. Has a couple of other ones that are cool, but you know, from our purposes, you know.
You'll find out there's no one platform that meets everything you want.
Right.
It's like, I'm waiting for that unicorn.
That's called a software developer.
They can integrate PC, Android, you know, iOS.
So for you, I have a question for you. One way to go is to stay with you. That's customer better or?
So MeetMe is our scheduling system.
Like a calendar.
Yeah, it's an automated calendar, and I have one. So we didn't use it for this event, but some events will actually use MeetMe, and it sends out reminders to that. When somebody schedules an appointment through that, it automatically goes in as a lead into my Infusionsoft account. So that's, and same with yours, probably goes into, you said get response. You know. So I mean, it's really just choosing the right platform based on, you know, for people who just do events and that's all they do, Constant Contact is one of the best ones. Yeah, that's one, it's very popular. It integrates with those, when you get up to the place where you would use Infusionsoft, it gets more expensive, but if you're doing events on a regular basis, there's value to using it. So it's just, yeah. And it's like, it starts at like $50 a month instead of, Infusionsoft is $200, so.
Yeah, if you got constant contact, you can sign up for like one of the. That was the past one I did that where it was for the first month for me to have a template with my website as the template for all the people. And I got.
It's kind of a,
Yeah, what I found is you pick up the, yeah.
I love her. Yeah.
Pick up the phone and talk to their salespeople, and just, you know, if you know somebody else got the same rate with software as a service, you can usually pick up the phone and say, hey, my friend got this deal.
Yeah.
Yeah. So when you do that, like my Infusionsoft is, they don't do this for clients anymore because they changed how they got an investor, so the investor has control now. But I got it at 200 because my friend had it at 200, and I knew somebody else, and it was just like, I just like, hey, like, and then I called them recently and I said, hey, look, this person's getting it at 260 a month for 35,000 contacts. Can you do the same for me? And yeah, I know one of the top guys there, so it kind of helps. But so I called them, and there is. It's called a consultant, or correct.
Many of them will have quick training videos, step-by-step kind of thing, and then I couldn't believe that he called me when I signed up for something online. They're like, how's it going? Can I, help you with anything? Set up anything for you? Here's a free offer. I know you signed up for this, but you can get like a month for free. I was like, what? He's excited. I mean, it's the kind of client service that I would give. I'm shocked, like completely shocked. I want really rare to get the kind of service from something like that. But yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's what I said. You have to call me. I love you. And so,
Yeah, the worst
so
case scenario is
walking through and that's not and protecting the all absolutely right down in the morning.
because I have to.
What you would expect.
I'm here myself. I cannot stay at my house.
Yeah, I mean, I like Infusionsoft, but it's just so hard to learn. Yeah.
Do you have Infusionsoft right now?
I did have. Well, I started with Infusionsoft, but I realized at that time was a couple years ago. It was too much for the level I was at. Yeah, so I mean, we're still starting out. Infusionsoft is expensive, so they put my account on hold. I'm ready to come back but the other ones have all this different stuff, but it's not as integrated as Infusionsoft.
Hey, Infusionsoft is a very holistic, and it's got a lot. So it's just what fits your needs. And I mean, if any of you guys have any questions, I know what pretty much all of them do. I'd be happy to do a 90-minute session with anybody to kind of identify what you guys are doing, what your needs are, and then I can kind of address based on that.
I talk too much, I know. How are you doing that right now?
Automatically put them in. They're relaxed. So that would be another. Once in a while.
Well, in terms of the,
You have one retail store?
They do. They used to have one in Mission Valley, and there was another one, right?
yeah, we have one across the street, Valley Carpet. Difficult, but as you go through, drive-through setting, I have a few people actually set up. Yeah, we, I think we have But you're, when a house is for sale, typically some photographs are marketed, so is that, just curious, is that too late, you know?
I don't think so, but two of our listeners photographed. I got that phone call from doing a, not a 3D, but I used my research. Well, good news for you, I've never had coffee. I could already hire a photographer.
That's a cool fact about you. I never knew you never had coffee.
Very nice listing was going on the cover of So it's interesting, if I may, I'm not sure if my first Starbucks. I basically did, I was, like the last 12 hours. Every time I did something nice for my wife, she's like, I like Starbucks. So I said, I'll just go to Starbucks and good job. Get her a coffee. I know nothing about coffee, but I was going to go down to Starbucks. Well, first of all, of course, you go to Starbucks on a Sunday morning and it's packed. And I think I remember non-fat lattes, like my wife, she ordered it before, so I go, get mine, I go, non-fat latte, and they ask like 5 questions, what's that? Well, I mean, no, grande, whatever. So I get through that, and so I gave her, my wife's name is, whose name? Lori. So, and this is like mass chaos. Like, I don't know. To me, that's all. I'm standing here waiting. Automation was kind of interesting because ready like probably 10 minutes. I came back, delivered the coffee. I don't think I'm doing that again. But then I realized the next time I went in with my wife, the leader.
Yeah, the one who owns
the
license and whatever. Because they are the ones that are gonna have sales meetings and stuff, and they, and you call them and find out everybody can come, or you know, give a feel, you know, like the feel of how to make the house attractive on the outside, so you talk, maybe you can create a small talk on that, like a 5 to 10 minute talk.
So Mark, are you Diane Sawyer's financial advisor, or?
Well, I am, but I'm, okay. I don't know what yet, but I'm planned out. Because I was advisor for a while before, brand advisor, which is also not the same one, it was North America. And then a couple years ago, I went to Matt Eagle, far from here, which was another crazy story. Heard about that, you know, what happened. And I think I'm ready to move some, but not necessarily, but really different environment, different industry.
Is that
And I've got experience on the phone.
I mean, she's a realtor, luxury realtor,
But you don't really want to get back into that.
and I know she has a team.
But I have options, I guess.
So that would be a great idea, is just say, hey, Diane, you know, heard about you.
I'm gonna go for that. My wife is a Mexican, but
I have trouble with English.
What kinds of things that
yeah,
you
but
use?
you said you've been doing your business for about a year now. What's been your
Like a range of 50, if you can say big hurry, you know, and offer that as a, training to the realtor. So they facilitate when they think of these things, they're out in the field, they're always going to other properties. They can't, you know, always.
Yeah, like, the tie-in between, to make the property look good on, in the photograph.
Who was the
And
person who
when
answered the phone the other day?
when somebody comes in to look, so I know how to make it look attractive. Yeah, but doing the photographing, you know, time kind of gets into trying to find for $100 and, you know.
Yeah, what doesn't a lot of work for me is I offer education.
But I
had to fire two people, like, when you
hired one guy for.
are willing to use it for
that legal?
Interesting how things
Just let it say,
it's
yeah.
okay, and I think get away with it, I just don't get that.
Well, if you're giving our open to receive that,
Right.
you know what I mean?
But still, I mean,
I
Right.
So anyway, staffing center, lead generation, I'm finding it going down, that is the first few months, that was a challenge. And because, we're in Bernardo. If you're not done. And,
Really? But, so it's really just, let me help.
you know, this is,
And,
yeah.
then it's having me.
It's not very challenging, yeah.
And someone that I met from LinkedIn changed that. And it's like a $2 million case that I got all because I. So if you were to call up the real estate, you know, when you want one, say, I really like.
Yeah, you don't get the right people. What's fascinating, is how now the whole tie with the culture, who you are and what you want.
And if
I spent a fair amount of time with the people,
and then every time that you have,
and I just had this conversation with our staff here.
yeah, it's like from that welfare that you turn
Here's
around.
our six sides.
But it's just moving.
We can all probably have a piece of this,
Put
but
it up there, I just say,
our members have to have this.
have a.
We have to watch.
Yeah, it doesn't even have to be a blog, it
They
just
just
has
have
the
to laugh
last
at
one.
it.
Here,
12
didn't
hours.
have those back.
And show, if you had a before and after picture,
When you
that,
start looking at
you know.
it that way,
Yeah.
you take the emotion out, it becomes very clear who fits in and who doesn't. I think when you're
Sorry.
deciding what you want to do,
I'm sorry, Angela, maybe, what which one do you need?
because you
What
want
do you need?
like an organization, that ultimately, when you like what you do, you're gonna be incredibly productive. That comes back to the have to versus the want. Right?
So, culture, you know, what's the connection that will, finding someone else, and
So definitely,
do I take this long enough
because
to make
today,
money?
you're not
Do you,
Everybody that hires
use QuickBooks, right?
all my best friendship, my best man,
And I'm using, their
my wife, that's why I did it for that long. So, yeah, money's nice, but
So would you,
I like,
do you feel for somebody who has ADP already and just work using their system? Or would you? Yeah.
using the
You know, and so. Yeah, I guess what I'm saying is that would you be zero for some small company that has ADP, but as a contractor, I guess that's what.
Mark, I have a couple questions.
Mhm.
Thank you for sharing your kind of entrepreneur.
So my, I have to stay very.
A couple of like big ahas for you in that whole journey. What couple of things just stand out for all of you?
Do you? What
One
direction
was
your office hours
niching
are
down.
with your
That was a big, like, when our revenue went from a couple thousand per client to 20 to 50,000 per client. That was probably one of the biggest, which is why
I think your clients would be like,
these 6 keys are what impacted us hugely over the course of. The second thing that really, and I started doing this early on, but I hired people, and it made imperfect action. I hired interns. I think I shared this story at the last, when you were there. I hired an HR person because I had no idea how to hire. And then she brought in a couple of other people. I did the final interviews just to make sure that they were a culture fit. We brought on a social media gal and a salesperson, and then another guy who's supposed to be outside sales. He's supposed to go out to networking groups and do things. When I hired him, it went, I literally, in 3 days, I went from having a team of 4 people to having a team of 0. But that was a really cool experience because it taught me that I need to make sure that I'm not just hiring anybody to fill the position, but to hire the right person that has the skill set already, and being open to, obviously, understanding that I only have so much of my budget and based on where things are at in the company. And so from there, I started outsourcing. And I started went to Fiverr, Odesk, Freelancer, Elance. And I found experts in specific that did specific things that I could hire at. I was paying them like $5 or $6 an hour. Now we have a team that's a dedicated team that I pay them, a couple dollars an hour, which is really cool. But having hired the right people took a lot. And, I think the biggest hiring choice that I made that just saved me as a whole was hiring an assistant. Somebody who takes care of my emails, executive assistant. So emails, phone calls, social media, all of the stuff that I don't need to do, and I entrust her I trust her 100%. I gave her 100% reign right off the bat, and instead of if she does something wrong, it's, I take responsibility. I talk to the client and say, hey, I messed up, didn't explain this well to my executive assistant, sorry, and then whatever, that needs the action I need to take, and then I teach her the step-by-step. So that was number 2. And the third, which kind of ties all in together, is having big ticket offers. So not just having something for, $2,000 is my biggest thing, but having a, 10, 20, 50,000, and our biggest offer, our biggest package, other than our, we do everything for you for, the next couple of years, is about 120,000. Having that big, full package, and it's a bunch of smaller packages put together, but it's, I learned this from a mentor of mine. She talked about the Mexican restaurant theory, where you go into a Mexican restaurant, they have 7 or 8 ingredients, but they can make 100 dishes with those 7 or 8 ingredients. And being able to, package those together to say, oh, here's one package, here's another package, and being able to, that's how you can co-create it. So, for instance, for this, how many team members do they have? Great. Well, you've got, you've got 2 salespeople, you've got 2 executives, and you've got, a manager. Well, that's, 2 jumpstart seats, 2 executive pool seats, and a C4 seat, and each one of those, that's 5 jumpstart summits at least, 2 executive pool summits, and a C4 summit. In the minute, that's the co-creation.
That's the 20,000.
Right. Oh, see? But yeah, so being able to do that though is important, and that was a huge growing piece for us to value myself. Also came from having an assistant and having the team around me, because it wasn't me and my money and the money getting paid going into my pocket, which when you're seen as a solopreneur, it's oh, it's going into your pocket, so why can't you give me a discount? It's why? I saw this really beautiful video on Facebook, and there was a guy selling coconuts with coconut water, and the guy goes, a guy comes walking up, and this is in India, so the whole video is in Yeah, yeah, thank you. Wow, Hindi, there we go. Which I learned at one point, which is what I was trying to remember. And the guy goes up to him and says, you know, how much for the coconut? And he says, 30 rupiah. And the guy's like, really? Like, how about you give it to me for 20? Like, all you do is you go up and you climb a tree, you cut them off, it doesn't cost you anything. And he's like, no, they're 30, like, that's how much they are. And the guy walks away and he comes back and he's got a Coke in his hand, and the guy says, how much did you spend on the Coke? And he's like, I spent 35. And he's like, well, why did you spend more when you could have had this, which is healthier for you? Well, he's like, well, this is a name brand. It's like, we don't negotiate with name brands. Why should we negotiate with people who work hard and, you know, do, like, there's no reason for that. So, I do negotiate with name brands, but I don't negotiate with little, like, small businesses. I used to do it the other way around. So that was a kind of a big shift. It's like they work hard for them.
That was something you had to let
You know, I love the.
Yeah, I know, it's like, but I mean, a lot of
playing this out a little bit.
the folks that he works with, they have businesses on both sides.
Yeah.
So, yeah, you would need stuff.
You hire the right executive assistant, that person basically probably fills the next role for you, or whatever you're looking for, to a certain degree, because this person's gonna know your business. Right? I mean, this is kind of a built-in, two-for-one.
So my executive assistant now manages my team in the Philippines. I hired her out of the company she was in. I'm paying her double what she was getting paid before, and for the same price that I was paying the company that employed her, I have 5 people on my team. And yeah, and she's incredible. Like, most of my day, I'm trying to figure out what to do now, because the team, like, they're so efficient. Like, I get this done and it's done. Like that presentation, no way I could have gotten it done by myself. And I worked on it with them yesterday from like 4 o'clock until midnight. But, that was just kind of the minor changes here and there, like with, all the automation and all of the, the nice, pretty stuff of it. But, it's like.
There's another thing.
But again, I just want to know,
Spend a lot of time.
and I work a lot of hours, so it's not, I mean, you just have to be prepared.
Kind of ask for help. My background is business development,
But there's a payoff.
and,
In fact, last
it's
year,
fascinating that most companies
that's why you
really don't know their customer.
yeah, they,
And the way they're so adept at the acquisition of business, that they spend very little time on what it really means for the retention. And I would, and just share with the group, everywhere I've been, I've always set a minimum revenue target of like 25% of revenue has to come from,
Repeat.
from my current wallet. So if I've got a 500,000 of revenue, X amount of clients, right?
Yeah.
I'm gonna get an additional new hard like increase in revenue of 100 grand by, having them buy another.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm amazed at the number of organizations.
Yeah, that's what I'm
I
like.
think the reason they don't is they don't look at kind of the way you get presented out. You said that, well, I sell you something and then I really don't care. That's true.
Find
I've
out where
witnessed
you're
it.
going to get
They're good business. It's not like, there's big insurance companies that don't care customers.
where you're
But,
and because
with
my
technology,
market
you don't really can't.
that narrows it down.
That's
I like that. That's one of my takeaways.
one of the biggest kind of points that really
But it also, like,
alerted me to that in our own company. I brought in a mentor to help us map out our business. We were excelling so fast in the client acquisition, but that key component, like, it's right in front of you. I do this for our clients all day long. And like, we didn't have a customer service department. And I'm not talking about like customer services and, oh, I've got a problem. It's customer services and making sure the customer is served every step of the way. And that was it's like we put in a system in place immediately. And this was, we lost the client, which is why I was like, why did we lose this client? This was a big deal. And so, we're like, hey, what is this? And a big thing we put in a project management system. So our clients can see every step of the way, where their project is at. And that, that's huge for them. And then we do based on their project size and everything, we do calls, either weekly or biweekly or monthly with them.
Well, just like the executive assistant being a 2-for-1, your customer.
Yeah, those are, all those designated, and for one mutual fund, you can change it as.
They will share with you that, boy, I wish someone could.
How about for you?
And it's either, oh, that's something we do, or, oh, I have a partner that does that. And the partner will pay you for that client, getting that new client. Joint ventures are a huge powerhouse when it comes to growing. Huge powerhouse.
It doesn't make sense. I was very frustrated. Companies don't know the customer well, because you always spend so much on acquiring them, telling them the first time something, and why would do the same again over and over again, but upsell them, cross-sell them, with more than one product solution.
Give tools, especially in healthcare.
I find this fascinating with technology where it still doesn't work. Everybody gets the nasty bill or nasty letter when you don't pay your bill, right? Right? You're late, whatever, the system comes up. How many of you ever gotten I thank you now, right, for actually paying the bill?
So, today I was in.
If you had a customer that paid, if one of your customers paid you every time you asked on time, shouldn't you recognize that?
Right.
Because that's not the world we live in. That one thing is so good for your business.
Been getting on this.
It just as a smile goes a long way. A thank you. It's incredible validation for the relationship that we have.
And, of course, it takes more money to send out a letter, but I'm with T-Mobile, and it's not for that long, but when I moved to get a new phone there last week, in less than 2 years, I said, thank you for being a valid customer. And it hasn't been that long. I was with Sprint before for 6 years, and they never told me anything like that.
I don't get that one letter.
That's a very simple thing.
I'm with
But it goes a
T-Mobile.
long way, because I noticed it.
I'm gonna call them and ask them for my letter. We've been with T-Mobile for 11 years.
There you go. Maybe it's only for personal customers, I don't know. Special.
Yeah,
He's a complainer. You're a level 5 customer.
That's probably true. Well, at one point, this going right to the customer service factor. At one point, T-Mobile's service was so bad. I mean, for them to get anything done, I had to get transferred 3 or 4 times, because literally the entire the script same every single time. And this was back when India was the popular call center support. Their script was exactly the same every time I got with a new person. Oh, you're having a problem with your phone? You need to reset your phone. It's like, no, I don't need to reset my phone. my phone, like, it takes me over 8 hours to reset my phone.
Wow.
Because I have, between the apps and all the security settings that I have in there, like, I have, like, everything is encrypted, including my phone, and for me to reset my phone is a nightmare. And, like, yeah. And then I found out, by the way, if you're with T-Mobile, you want to write this down, Customer Loyalty Department. It exists. They have a customer loyalty department. They will fix anything for you.
Good to know.
So once I found that out, then
I
all my
also found out you have to go to like one of the bigger stores. You go to like one at the mall or a kiosk.
yeah, they
They can't
don't.
help you there. Yeah, so they won't even tell you everything qualifies for stuff. Just tell them what it's up.
So, but yeah, it's, you know, there's a lot to that. I like the thank your customers for paying. That's easy to do with Infusionsoft, especially. You know, it's an automated. I don't even have to. We do send an email. Yeah, we do send an email already. You know, when they pay, thanking them. But I like the postcard idea. You know, costs $1, $1.50.
Yeah.
So.
But that's one line that really stuck out in the presentation. With automated marketing, emailing, with from the hours to the hours.
There's so much more things about that. And that was that gap. I was literally spending like almost 20 hours a month, 10 to 20 hours a month, a week, just on taking data from one platform and transitioning it to another.
If you do it
manually. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, when I first started, they had a vendor fair for the new agents, and, you know, displaying all these different program solutions that they had. Of course, it was way over my head at that point in time. I really didn't understand the importance of, like, you get a lead, the lead gets shoved into like a CRM,
Right.
and then from the CRM, that information gets pushed into our quoting platform.
Right.
Yeah. Well, at the time, I didn't really understand how
You don't understand it. You don't understand.
9:51. Sorry,
Shocked.
I didn't mean to. It's 9:51.
Thank you guys.
Were you in insurance before?
All right, everybody. Finish. I just want to let you know it is 9:50, which means 9:52, which means in 8 minutes we're going to, assuming that there's. Can you actually check to make sure that they're still going to be here at 10:30? I know that they move events get moved around. That's what I thought. Yeah, I mean, you're welcome to. I'm sure. I don't remember. But anyways, I would like for you guys as each of the groups to take about 2 minutes, figure out which idea or aha moment or component that you guys had is the most valuable to share with the other group, and then we'll do that. So if you guys want to take about 2 minutes to do that, and then we'll cross share with them.
tackle, I don't know what they're working for. Of course, I always knew automation is better. I didn't know how much better, how much more better. Okay.
Okay,
Yeah.
sorry. So what do you think is the best, I think for me,
Now I
listening
understand
to everybody,
what they say about my,
education,
before I thought it was.
because I think you can also create some sort of education.
As a bridge to sale,
Yeah.
Thank you very much for making sure
Yeah,
that
to give for,
they told us that, yes, we succeeded to sell businesses, but they failed many more times. Because I believe that if you don't know how to fail, you don't know how to succeed.
Those were a lot of growing and learning points that
It's character too, right?
a lot of character. Some good character, some not.
yeah, like trusting in the business so that you can give it to you and make less effective to figure it out.
Because, where I'm from, there is no credit based like in Germany, I pretty much it's still the same. Like when my dad bought a car or bought a house, and moved out, the company said yes.
All right.
Yeah, the bank, right. What kind of property you have, what kind of, income do you have, will you work, how long? And based on that, they make a decision. Here, and I know myself, I bought my condo 10 years ago recently. Based on my credit score section at the time, and no money down, interest only. And then the public was calculated, so, and, yeah, I adapted, of course, but it feels like insane.
We have
That's the
some,
way it is here, you know?
we have some odd policies that we,
one of the takeaways, unit separation, like program the things that you have.
Right.
Deliver that are already just regards to automation applies to most.
So, yeah, I'm creating a new website, the communication side,
the iPad.
and I've, strategic
I want to switch it to the drawing thing.
Maybe think of support staff.
How they take it in their business is had to be a stronger skilled person.
That makes sense.
So I call that, using, the lens of course,
What's that?
teach businesses that
Healthcare costs by rising exponentially, in the household, they make that to pay benefits.
Huh? Apparently not.
Right.
Now,
yeah, no, that's what I'm trying to, figure out.
I watched.
All right.
Healthcare, how do we realign it, you know, instead of being on the other. I used to work with humans in the test that they have. Me, aligning myself over what I want to do within the content, for the
Huh. Oh.
That's why I'm here.
So I spoke at an all women's conference, but she had a man panel. So, just to give the man's perspective of what they were all thinking. All right. I want you guys are all having a lot of fun. I want you guys. So you have something to share, and you're sharing. You have the key sharing point. So she's sharing. You're delegating. Delegation. All right. Angela, can you share? Share with the group over here.
One of the things that we got is that there really is a distinct separation of marketing and sales. And you can't expect one person to perform both of those tasks. They're completely different skill sets. And then within that, how the automation applies to both marketing and sales and can create more efficiency through that.
Thank you. Derek?
Okay, for us, we
Can you
actually.
stop that?
Well, we went ahead and started talking really in finding customers, which is, I think, for most of us, it's a challenge. And we were talking about one of the things that you could do is providing education, it's free education to introduce people to what you do, get familiar with how you can help other people, and then build that relationship. So some of us have been tasked to figure out some educational way of making a presentation, whether it's in person or maybe even online.
And I think that definitely, I mean, not rise on the coattails, but build on the foundation Corporate Alliance has about, that relationship is the foundation to the business relationship. Building that friendship as a result of, offering some sort of, hey, this is what I do, this is the things that I found, the pluses and the minuses, the hurdles that I've, dealt with in my focused area of expertise, here's how it might be able to help you, and I'm offering it because I can. Then the business relationship grows, has the best chance to grow into something mature from that, so be there.
Yeah. Well, and if I can just add to that, one of the main reasons that people do business with other people nowadays is because they collaborate. One of the main things is collaborating. So it's like we were talking about, how can I help you? What can I do for you? Because I help. If I have a client, I don't just talk to them about financial services, like you use a website, use social. Who do I know to help you? And that's what makes the difference, and that's what creates a relationship. Even if we don't do business, they'll refer someone to you or, that's all.
Cool.
And I want to thank my people for helping me find, because I have so much, and it's taken me so many years. I mean, it takes me a long time to actually be really mindful of what I do and align myself with people that have amazing tools that I've used for myself and so help me improve myself. But because of that, I have so much, and it's really difficult for me to funnel it down and say, this is what I do, you know what I mean? And thinking in my head of, so thank you.
Yeah, we just gave him a great tagline. We just gave his elevator speech.
Cool. The last, or second to last thing rather, that I want each of you guys to do, and this is kind of doing internal, and then you can share afterwards if everybody gets done. Write down at least, I'm going to say at least 3 action steps that you're going to do today's Friday. So we're only at 10 o'clock on Friday, which means you've got, depending on how long your Friday goes for business, you've got, 4 or 6 hours left in your day. What are you going to do by the end of the day to start on the path of whatever insights you gain today? So that whether that's marketing automation, whether that's looking at new ways to do lead generation, or where you can find your target market, or scheduling a time for us to sit down if that's something that you want to explore, and have me look at what all of those 6 key points are and where you can improve on automation and where you can find your target market. Whatever those action steps are that you want to do, go ahead and take the next couple minutes to do that. Yep. Okay. You're welcome. Thank you for joining us. Thank you for facilitating the Power Drill.
Yeah, I just want to say that, if I may.
Yeah.
I want to thank everybody. I've got to leave. I got some other stuff to do. I want to thank everybody for, obviously, being here. I would love to invite you to a couple things. If you leave us your, I'm sure Hawk has your contact information. Some free events, so to speak, is on December 1st. I believe it's from 2 to 4. Here, there's a member workshop. A couple of our members are putting on a neuroscience thing of sales. It's really kind of the psychology behind sales today. This gentleman's actually given us written books. That's kind of super cool. 2 to 4 on December 1st. We'll send out, we'll have you on the distribution when we send out the invites. You'll know, but December 1st. December 8th is our next Jumpstart lunch. So all of you here are cordially invited as my guest to come for the Jumpstart lunch, which is the entry level for the monthly lunches for the Jumpstart folks here at Corporate Line. So that you'll get a first-hand taste of what it means to remember. And that is 11:30 to 1:30 on the 8th, December 8th. And then on December 10th is our Innovative Thought, which is our outside speaker. And we just booked him. He's written books. He's been on the Discovery Channel. It's going to be super cool. It's all about adventure and how one goes about on adventures and some of the principles that apply to business. So that will be here, and it's open to the public on December 10th. And that, I believe, is here at 7:30 in the morning, 8 to 10 times. So those are events that, again, we have the contact information. We'll send that out. But it's truly been a joy to spend some time with you. And again, enjoy. Thanks all. My card, by the way, is out there, so if you want to take it.
And you and I. And I'm going to contact my motion.
Okay.
And.
Right.
I tried.
Can you pass out the book? All right. So we have a gift before the last thing that I have for you guys. Caitlin has a book for all of you. This is my business card. I don't carry business cards anymore, so my business card. My phone number is on the bottom of every single page.
Are you gonna sign?
I try to sign.
See the marker.
So we can say, we do have a grant?
Yes, exactly.
Two kind of components, part of the same thing. One, just curious, and so that way Caitlin can get you guys signed up for it. Who loved this and would like to come back to the next one? All right, awesome. The next one is December 10th. And it is also a breakfast. We only do breakfast because after 10:30, I'm so swamped into my day that I wouldn't remember what was happening. So the next one is December 10th. It starts at 7, ends at 10:30. Breakfast is served at about 8 that day. And that one's usually a little bit smaller, but we usually have 10 to 12 people registered for that one, and since it's on a Thursday, like our events should be on, we'll have 10 to 12 people.
Yeah, Innovate Thought is having their big speaker on that day.
Yeah.
That's right.
So you may wanna change that day.
Well, see, the thing is, yeah, okay. Yeah, so we schedule our events a lot sooner before they schedule their events. Yeah, so, and the other one's on December 1st, which is when we will do it. Actually, this makes it really cool for you guys. We're going to do it on Tuesday, which is just before Jumpstart. So that means you get to get free breakfast and free lunch in the same day.
So you'll do it on the 8th?
We're going to do it on the 8th.
Okay.
So thanks for realizing that. Yeah. So if you guys want to, please let Caitlin know, and we'll get you registered for that one. That will be on the 8th from 7 to 10:30, same as this was. And then how many of you guys would like to also get a 90-minute strategy session where we map out the 6 key areas and we look at what types of automation or what you can do to grow your business? Just curious.
Not anytime soon, no, I mean, like maybe in January, is that okay?
Yeah, that's totally fine. Yeah, we can definitely do it in January. Can you get them set up? Yeah. Yeah. So December and November and December are always crazy. We take 3 weeks off total. So. Well, well, I should say, I schedule 3 weeks off. That's a better way to put it.
I was going to knock it for 3 weeks. I worked
Yeah.
every day but 2 of them.
So.